So you want me to go to the apothecary house?
No. 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 Maybe after I get back, then you can go to the apothecary house.
Sari, your mic.
Yeah, are you talking? I can't tell if it's laggy, something weird on my end or what.
You turned it off so you could sneeze and then never turned it back on.
So Daphne is saying things, I'm assuming?
I thought I missed that. Yes, Daphne returns. She swings the door really wide and she goes, I have returned! Also, why are you going somewhere? I heard that.
Kris wanted to meet me alone. So, but I'm not going alone. I'm taking Vinda in bird form with me, in case things go out, because she can teleport us away if something goes south.
Sounds like you're making excellent decisions, also. And she picks up a big bag and plops it on the counter area. I brought my own ale so you can stop complaining about me drinking everything.
Great. So now we just have to find the apothecary house. What
Yeah,
time
that
did it
is
say
a
we're
good
supposed
point.
to-
Where is that? Yeah, we're supposed to. Well, Harmony's supposed to meet this guy in the alley next to the apothecary, and we're going to help if we.
So wait, I drew a blank. Did the note say a time for meeting?
Oh, apparently the note secretly actually said, "Come alone at night."
At night? You misread the note?
Apparently. I didn't realize there was one more fold where it was folded over right there, and then oh, what's this? Oh, never mind. It actually says you're supposed to be going at nighttime.
Okay, well then we have a day to do nothing, then?
I was just drinking the quarter then.
We can't all leave because they'll know we all left.
Well, some of you could leave. I could stay here. No one's gonna bust in the tavern if they know the paladin's here.
Why, you want to hold down the fort by yourself as we go do the other things that we have to do here?
That won't be the first time in my life.
Maybe we should talk to Mayor Heartgaze, because if the portal leads directly into the middle of Zagata, then it's sort of like a security threat. So maybe like some of the town guards could like come through and set up an outpost and like guard this place, since it's technically guarding Zagata.
If we bring guards, it becomes way more noticeable that we have a teleportation. I think the gang has been keeping it on a down low.
We don't want anyone to know.
Unwanted attention.
Doesn't have to know, or doesn't already know.
But doesn't the gang already know about
also,
the gang does, but maybe not everybody does, and we're trying to keep a lowish profile for now.
Well, who else is going to break into the tavern?
The Fate Dominion. If you make this a security concern for Zagata, they will pretty much take over the security concern and deal with it, so to say.
Yeah, also, I want to get
that's something we're trying to
avoid. You know.
I think Heartgaze should be made aware of it once we figure out what we're doing here. But until then, I would prefer not to get guards showing up here.
I'm pretty sure that the light bulb also doesn't want anyone to know.
Well, I certainly don't want anyone who doesn't already know to know that it's a fairy port.
There's that as well.
Well, if we have... What time is it? It's still early in the morning, right?
Oh yeah, it's late in the morning.
Alright, cool. So we have time to go do the other stuff.
Thereabouts.
Maybe, Vinda, you said you can close the portal, right?
Yeah?
Maybe you should do that before we head out to go do other things, just in case Daphne is wrong and decide to attack the bar with her in it.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
I am offended.
Hey, I contingency plan. I plan for contingencies. I think you're right, but in case you're wrong, And since we can close the portal, I think we should.
It doesn't matter if they send the whole dang gang here. I'd take them all out in one. Then it wouldn't even be a problem. We're just doing this.
You have a dragon we don't know about that's your friend or something? Because I'm pretty sure they're all evil, and I'm pretty sure
Yes,
that's...
I do. He's called the Light, and he's all I need. Or get with that angel boy. Anyway, we should get going.
Alright, so somebody else. I'm somebody who knows more about political nonsense. We have to go talk to the ambassador, and I don't even remember what we're supposed to talk to them about. So something about gnome portal things, I think. Right? Discs? Right? That's what it was?
Yep. They wanted to set up a portal from Zagata to somewhere, and not the fairy portal.
And then Tila wanted us to talk to the ambassador too for some reason.
If you're going to talk to fancy people, I should probably just stay here and drink.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
If you can drink, you can stay.
I'm already on it. And he lifts up the bottle of rum that he's been drinking straight out of this entire time.
She puts her.
Why?
Daphne puts her hand over the bottle before you can drink it, shakes her head, and pulls out some of her own rum that she bought, which is much better quality, and puts it down in front of you. I'm not drinking any of that stuff while we're here. Harmony will get upset.
Out of character, I thought that was like the top shelf stuff of the.
I thought I thought you were drinking the cheap stuff and sell the top shelf stuff.
No, I've been using one of the bottles to like cook with and drink out of. Pretty sure I used like a fourth of it cooking for the breakfast.
That bottle costs 200 gold. What's wrong with you?
It actually probably does. Alright. So who's heading out and what are we doing?
We're going to find the ambassador, I think. Right? I think everybody but Gorman's going. Unless Bramble wants to stay behind with Gorm.
No, not this time.
Alright, we're going up to the ritzy people for Harmony to go smash some stupid, arrogant doofuses in the face. Alright, you thought the fight was going to be with the gang? You thought wrong. The fight is with the arrogant people up top.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, the stuff's gonna get real.
Okay. Alright. So, as soon as I can find my thing, we'll go.
We don't really need to talk to him. We just have to deliver the sealed envelope.
So you think?
That's what it says.
Yes. I'm
also
super
seeing
convinced.
in my notes that we need to visit the chapel of the Charsong Archivist.
That is for the.
We need to do as soon as possible, because otherwise that dude is gonna ditch.
No, he's in prison. You missed that. He's in jail right now because he was very belligerent there. Yeah, we found it. Yeah, we found out. Yeah, so Daphne said that he's in jail right now, and she also wants to go to Light's team.
Oh,
so like
I
we're
see.
gonna
Well, we don't have to worry about him going off on his own and getting
right.
in.
So we're gonna be friends with the ambassador and then get him released, and then we're all gonna go to Light's Peak later.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which is one of the reasons Daphne's helping us.
Let me update my notes on that.
Yeah, he be in jail.
The car is in jail.
Yeah.
There are so many things going on.
Why is he in jail?
Because he was belligerent when he was asking them for he wanted the information and they didn't give it to him. He got angry and then they called
I'm
the
asking the
guards.
Charsong Archivist.
Okay. Yes.
He was being brutish and moody, and it didn't work out well for him, so they sent him to jail.
That all sounds less fun than drinking top shelf rum. So.
Okay, so that's one of the things we were supposed to do.
We also have to go.
That was two of the things you're supposed to do. And then Tila wanted us to do something, but I think that was also with the ambassador. So
she wanted us to deliver a box that she gave to us. That's what I have in my notes, so I don't know. I've slept since then, so I don't know exactly what that's referring to.
I don't think she told us what was in the box. Pretty sure she didn't tell us. She was just like, give this box to somebody.
I think she wanted it delivered to a specific person.
Oh wait, so we have to
not the
take the
ambassador.
letter to the ambassador at the Fate Dominion, and then if we get his permission, we have to take it to the Duke of Seashine.
Oh, we have to talk to the Duke. No, the Duke barred all access.
We have
for
to go
the
talk with
cards,
the
but
ambassador,
Duke is closed.
Arion Phoenix Shade.
Phoenix Shade, yes. I'm sure it's going to be super easy.
Oh yeah, of course.
Fairly an inconvenience.
I'm just gonna, as soon as it starts getting night out, Harmony's gonna ditch to go do the other thing because he's not passing up that opportunity. So if we get mired in the quagmire of nonsense, he's just gonna.
Wait a minute. So I remember listening to this debate about what the blacksmith's brother was doing and how we're going to find him. And they're telling us nobody asked what he did and no one had it in their notes, so we wouldn't be able to find out. Except I see in my notes right here, it says, Thomas Giles, he is a fisherman and owns a boat that he sells fish out of. So
we were just missing the person who actually had it in the notes, so somebody does have it.
Vindicated, ha!
So it's like curiosity. Like,
note.
wait, I remember where the blacksmith's brother was. I remembered it now.
Okay, so which of the things are you guys wanting to do first?
Ambassador.
Where is this guy a fisherman? Might
Well,
he
if
be
tell me what you
nearby?
want to do, and I'll help you find it. But I need to know what you
Oh,
want
so
first.
Tila has a box for the ambassador.
Yes.
Oh,
so
I have.
two
I have
missions.
a box.
Two missions are the ambassador. One mission is fisherman. The other mission is Charsong archivists.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Are the fishermen near-
Barry, you are raising your hand. Yes, Barry,
Everyone's
you are
press
raising your
J
hand.
to open up your quest log. You can see the
Yes, this is what it feels like.
And just
I'm
set
setting a
it on the
waypoint.
main
Set the
quest with a little
waypoint.
directional arrow on the mini-map points towards it.
And then we just go that way. Yeah, that's how it works. Well, we passed the fancy place where the ambassador probably is. So.
Goran presses Y to take a swig of rum.
I am the waypoint pointer. That is my job. Anyway, yes. So, to the ambassador, you guys leave. Do you guys leave all at once, or is do you guys do anything?
No, Daphne said she's got it. So it's a display of we're confident that you're not going to try anything. So we're just heading out.
Okay, you guys just all
After
march out.
after the portal gets closed, right?
Yes. I think we were in agreement that closing the portal was a good
Yeah.
idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's nothing we need to have it open while I'm not.
I would suggest
there.
Curiosity writes a note and puts it in the bottom of the thing in case nobody starts looking at the portal, so she knows that we closed the portal on purpose and we'll reopen it later.
A note that goes through and then lands into the waste. Just
Sewage.
down at the bottom of that little hole.
Well, we could pop through. Put it
Vinda could carry a little note through to above.
Okay.
Okay.
We will assume Novi is informed. All the things are done. You secure. Okay. Moving on. You guys gather up. You leave, and you leave the footing market. And as you're leaving, there are definitely eyes. People give you watches. People give you a pretty wide berth and eyeball you. But there are a couple brave souls that as you leave, some of them come up to you and they're like, alms for the poor. And you see as the young looking boy is over in a corner with a couple of his friends, and see some of the younger kids in his group they look at you and almost also see the opportunity. So you get several people coming up to you and suddenly asking for money. As you leave the
Is
flea
anyone
market.
feeling under the weather?
Oh, I am, and a couple of people as you say that start coming up to you. But as they're coming up, then you see as a bigger kind of man with a club that Harmony you're familiar with walks by and gives them all the eye, and you see people kind of remember themselves and they stop short and they withdraw again from you.
I step towards him. I'm like, wait, no, is somebody sick? I can help you if you're feeling sick.
I keep on moving.
That's the person with the club talking.
Yeah, he was one of the people that was with Chris. during the negotiations.
You want your people to be sick and not healthy.
I
Aside
think we
from my
should
young
move
friend,
on.
yes, we will continue moving. Have a good day.
Everybody
Come on.
swoops in and grabs Curiosity and says, nope, not this again, not this again.
Stop.
I just walk out, I'm holding my hand, and I'm just,
As they're pulling you away, even Rafi gets up on your shoulder. He curls up, and then he whips his whips his tail up in front of your face.
Thanks,
And
Robin.
he kind of like kneads into your shoulder area here, trying to like get your attention. Be like, look, pet! Like all of a sudden, Rafi is a cat who wants attention. He like starts pawing at your face and kneading in and trying to get your attention as you walk.
Trying to tell you all the
You guys
secret
leave it.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. You guys leave the floating market and head up. And as you head up, for the first time since you left, you see guards, and they walk past you, kind of look at you, look down at where you've been from, and then kind of gathering you're not probably from the floating market, just kind of give you a wary eye, but continue walking.
I say, like, what's up, fellas? Good work you guys are doing down there in the floating market. Like, stellar work. Also,
Have a good day.
I also understand you keep safe. Hope your families are doing well, and you're following orders. So,
Ari shoulder checks Harmony and says, shush!
Have a good day, sir. Keep moving. Kind of like
Bit of
it went
indiscreet.
from like
so she's
notable
awful.
people to that was bizarre, but they continue. And as you guys go past, so if you remember that in the roads there are signage areas. There are signposts about all the different places. Where do you want to start looking for the ambassador? You have signs that say the Alcazar Rise. You have another sign that says the Fate Ascent. You have another one that says the Showering Cemetery. There's the Oasis Pond, the Cathedral of Tears, the Quintus Sharshang Museum, Traveler's Den.
I feel like the ambassador would be up on the high fancy place.
well, if it's the ambassador for the Fate Dominion, maybe it's by the Fate Ascent, if that's why that area was named the Fate Ascent. The Fate
Well, isn't that also the high fancy
ambassador
place?
is there.
It's separate, so
The Alcazar Rise.
Alcazar's Rise is at the center.
Okay, yeah, never mind. If it says Fates, that might, or somebody there might know something. Or maybe we just be like, yo, where's the ambassador?
Okay,
Why
so
don't we
you
just
have
go towards those guards that you were casting shade at? And trying
Friendly
to compliment
shade.
and well wish at the same time.
Let's not do that, please. Let's not do that. At least
You
not
can-
that. Not that
Human
early.
guards.
Let's not make an enemy of the town guards today, please.
That's why I said I
you
hope their
could
families are
go
doing well.
talk to them. You could go talk to them if you wanted to.
Excuse me, sir, could you point me to the direction of the Fate Dominion embassy?
Oh, yeah, it's up in the Fate Ascent, and he points to where to the sign it's posted. Just keep following the signs towards the Fate Ascent and up to the Rise, and you'll be able to find it.
Ah, thank you. That is most helpful.
Kyra's intuition was correct. It is the Fate Ascent.
It had the word fade in it.
I go back to the group, I'm like, yes, it is in the Fate Ascent, as implied by the name. They have good naming conventions in this city. Also, some of those places up there look really nice to fly around in.
I don't advise that, but alright.
Is there a law against flying in this city?
Consider what you're doing when you fly up there. You're basically wandering around over people's homes,
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
without permission.
yeah, it's different than when we're back home and everybody can fly. It's a little bit weird here. I mean,
I
some
think
people
that seems
fly.
racist.
Thank you for pointing that out. That is racist for you to do so.
Anyway, with that out of the way.
Leave that alone.
We're good. You guys follow the signs. You follow the signs, and unlike the guards, it is actually surprisingly, with how huge the city is, it is actually surprisingly easy to navigate because the signage is so plentiful. You don't really find yourself getting lost. But you do travel. So it is on the other side of town. So you travel from the floating market, and you end up having to travel kind of around to the kind of around the northeastern and curved over by going towards, or not the north, the northwest. You curve around at the northwest area, past Traveler's Den. You circle around Alcazar's Rise, and eventually you get to the kind of ramped area that leads to the steep hill that is Alcazar, that is Fey Descent. You travel up this rise for a couple of minutes before you eventually reach a gilded golden gate almost, although it doesn't have it's more like an arch. And you get up to this arch, and Eretheus immediately, the sea shine architecture is gone, and you are very familiar with the Fate Dominion architecture that is before you. And also, dressed in front of you are two guards, two guards in like the central area. Behind the archway are several more Fey Dominion guards. And unlike the guards in the West Gate that are like kind of casually dressed and human, these are Azamar with their helmets on, professional soldiers. These are Azamar guards. And as you approach, they stop you. Who's in front? Who's going to speak with them?
Don't everybody speak up at once.
Hey man, it's Fate Dominion. That's your deal.
All right,
citizen.
Halt! It's a rather large party to be marching into the Fey Descent. What brings you here?
we are currently messengers from Zagata, and we wish to visit the ambassador, the Fate Dominion ambassador.
Heavily armed for messengers. Can I see this note you're bringing?
Well, we came across the desert here, so we did come armed because of that. But yes, it is standard letter, it's standard communication, so to say. It's just that the mayor wanted us to hand deliver it, and Ari will present the letter.
Takes it, looks it over. Looks all over it for all of you. Alright. Just, I'm sure I don't have to let you know, sir, but for your friend's information, we will be keeping a careful eye on you. We expect you to give our ambassador the due respect he deserves, so I would be cautious in there. Anything you try will stop you, and it will not be pleasant. Is that understood?
Yes, sir, quite clear.
Alright, well, enjoy your visit.
Thank you. Light be with you.
Light be with you. Emperor's Grace guides you. And he gestures for you to enter.
I whispered a curiosity. Shouldn't that be Empress Grace?
That's what I was just thinking.
I think they need to change their motto.
It should have been. I don't know what happened. I almost wanted to correct him on it, but I decided not to.
So is there like a faction of people that don't accept the Empress as Empress, or is that like a slip?
I don't know. Do I know that, Zeri? Is there like a... It's been a while since Zeri's been actually back inside the Empire. That's why he's out and about.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm not sure.
I am convinced that this is not a good thing and was done on purpose, and I don't like it.
That is one of the reasons why I decided to get out a little bit.
And then I was smiling.
Yep, of course.
Well, no, because he's smiling because we're just reading way too much into something, or because it's diabolical. Either one is totally possible. So
Yeah, pretty much.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes. It's always that.
all right, so we're finding the
It's
ambassador.
diabolical either way.
You will never know.
I think
Anyway,
we will know. We
moving
will
on.
know if it turns out there is a faction of people that don't see the Empress as like legitimate. But I
But
think
we
we're
go
gonna find
in
that out
hush,
at some
Keller.
point.
Let's go find out.
Anyway, you walk past into the roadway. It leads to what is this shape called? Is it pentagon? It looks kind of like a D20, like a flat D20. I'm trying to remember the name. Pentagon, maybe. It's similar to a pentagon, but anyway, it's like a pentagon roadway. And you
20-sided dice are definitely not similar.
So it would be a pentagon
You-
if you're going for a
Kara,
five-sided
do you
road.
remember from the map? Kara, do you remember from the map where the Fate Ascent, the way that it looks? I'm trying to. I know that there's a name for this shape. It's eluding me right now. It doesn't really matter that we can move on.
A pentagram, or
Yeah,
it looks like a pentagon.
pentagon. That's probably what.
Yeah, pentagram is more of a star shape.
Anyway,
Or
you
pentagram.
it's a sort of pentagram roadway, and each of the sections of the pentagram is like a kind of garden area with different buildings. But the most noticeable building is at the far end with a squared blue roof, and has a kind of it has gilded pillars coming down with with an ivory sort of plant growing off from the roof and falling down. It's there's a sort of mixture and you're looking at all the buildings. There's a mixture of beauty and the oasis, but with a hint of warfare. There's a violent sort of undercurrent to all of the construction. You see jagged points. You see darker sort of darker reds, sort of simulating blood almost in the designs and the tiles. It's a very odd sort of combination, but those of you who've lived in Quittis your whole life is very familiar. It's very evidently Fade Dominion dominance being displayed, but also,
that's
also the wealth and charm.
interesting mixture of pretty and disturbing.
Yes, it's very much conveys the message of both the elegance and age of the Fade Dominion, but also
And that was an in-character comment.
They represent. You guys, you also, as you walk through, you see several individuals, all Azamar. You don't see anyone who isn't an Azamar as you walk through. They're all wearing, those who aren't guards wear some very fine, linen, linen robes that go down, that have intricate detailings on them. Everyone in this room is very well dressed. Even people that you kind of assume are servants, as you see them kind of carrying baskets here and there, even they are very ornately dressed. But you head towards the bigger, kind of important building, assuming that that's probably where the ambassador is. And you get up to the doorway, and you are greeted by what looks to be an older woman, an older Azamar woman, very tall and elegantly dressed, as others, with white graying hair, but it's very, very neatly pulled down and straightened. And she opens the door to you and nods and bows respectfully. Greetings, light be with you. What can I do for you today? What brings you to our small corner?
Greetings, and light be with you as well. We are currently on task to deliver this letter to the ambassador. I believe his name was Phoenix Shade.
Ambassador Phoenix Shade is in. He would be pleased to receive you. One moment while I inform him. Would you like to stay in the guest room?
Sure, I see nothing wrong with that yet.
Harmony's checking for traps. This feels really Empire Strikes Back. I'm checking for traps. But the more I think about the Emperor thing, it just feels a little bit off to him. Like I rolled real terrible. Like almost a nat once. Like that was a fail. Rolled like
Gotta make sure to check for the dioxin gas vents.
Yep, and some hidden super death squad troopers. Like
It's very important.
Yeah, I'm assuming that in 8 gets me nothing.
Traps everywhere.
I get a stunt point. I get stunts, but I'm checking the guest room when we go in.
Okay.
Bramwell will check
So
as well.
as she leads you into this guest area, everything is it has these similar gilded archways. There really aren't a lot of doors, which surprises you. That is being because it's odd, given the sort of defensive nature of the Azamar. You would think there would be a few more stronghold kind of doors, but you don't really see that. Most of what you see are kind of gilded archways, and she leads you through another one. And in there you see furniture very similar to almost Novi's bar, in that there aren't really sofas as much as there are floor pillows and little blankets here and there, and a table that sits in the kind of on the lowish to the ground, with some candles and some what looks to be actually fresh fruit. She leads you in. Please take your leave here, and you're welcome to the fruit on the fruit basket below. And then as you enter, she bows and leaves. Harmony, being suspicious, you immediately start checking for traps in the area. You don't really see anything that looks like a trap. It looks like a very fancy room. It's very fancy, and it makes you a little uncomfortable because you're really not used to being in this kind of environment.
I'm taking all the fruit and putting it in my backpack.
So
that when the kids come up next time,
eat it before you take it.
Curiosity, we can
No,
give
I'm
this
not sure
to the
that's
kids
what
that
she
come
meant.
asking for stuff. Yeah, well, they have plenty of food, and the people down don't have it. So, and we're trying to make them
we don't
like us.
But we're also trying to make the ambassador and their people like us.
If they didn't want people to eat the food, they wouldn't set it out.
I want to eat a piece of
There's
fruit. I'm
difference
hungry.
between eating it and...
Harmony, you do realize that if the Fed Dominion wanted to, they could check you to see if you had taken any of the food. And
Well, yes, and then
okay,
I would point out that they have no moral standing to in this case.
I would not fall back on that argument if I
That's
were
with
you.
Yeah, well, hopefully that doesn't happen. Cause
Yeah, this seems like you're
Excuse
for
me?
trouble, and
Yes.
not the fun kind of trouble either.
I think we've come
Is everything all right?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
I see you've enjoyed the refreshments. At any rate, the ambassador will see you now.
Thank you very much. That's really fast work. Okay.
oh yeah, just like opens backpack and dumps bowl of fruit in. Poop.
I mean, that's what I imagined. I imagined Harmony would.
Yeah, I think that's what we all imagined.
Yeah, that's
that's
very
what
much
happened.
what happened.
Close.
He's gonna be Fruit Man. It's like here comes the Fruit Man, the Fruit Man.
Oh god. He's got gold and fruit. Let's go get him. All the kids are now jumping up and down around Harmony's legs, going, "Hey, give us something!"
Harmony's becomes to the Santa Claus of the floating market.
Then when he falls
Santa
down,
Claus.
he'll become a fruit salad.
I'm the Muffin Man of the floating market.
The Muffin Man.
I'm the Muffin Man.
I'm sorry.
Well, you
Sorry.
would
He
now
at least makes his own stuff. Like Santa, the elves make everything. At least he makes the muffins.
They can have Saint Harmony Day.
Enough.
man.
No,
Where
we're
were
not.
we?
Anyway, we're meeting the ambassador. All right, I'm sorry, I've distracted everybody by stealing the fruit. I've turned into Gorm. What is wrong?
No, you're worse than Gorm. Gorm has more tact than that.
So what are we doing?
Alright, so You are led in there by the housekeeper, and you're led into another dark hallway, or not dark hallway, well-lit hallway with. Sorry, misspoke. It's a well-lit hallway with dark floors. Yes. Stop it! You're gonna make me laugh, and I'm gonna lose it. Yeah, with a black wood. There's like this fine black wood on the bottom, and still no doorways. All archways, and you get finally to the end of the hallway, and you see another gilded archway, but this time it has really fancy red and gold curtains drawn over it. She leads you towards this archway, and she pulls back the curtain gracefully, and she nods at you to enter. And you look in, and you see a tall Azamar man with blonde, shortish hair, short for an Azamar. It's still barely, it's like, about here, with really kind of almost stunning, glowing blue eyes. And he's got a small goatee down the center of his chin, and he looks up at you and gives you a warm smile and greets you and says, Welcome, friends. I hear you have a message for me. Please, come in, introduce yourself. Tell me why you are here.
Ari will wait for everybody to enter in, and then we'll basically act as go-between, so to say. Yes, Ambassador. We were sent by Mayor Hotyays from Zagata to deliver this letter to you. Formal request, I believe, to establish a teleportation device circle over there to establish some trade routes and such.
Well, let me take a look. He takes the letter from you, unseals it, and he leans back into his chair, and he reads it for a few moments. Oh, I see. Well, Mayor Heartgaze must be doing well in Zagata. She's ambitious enough to believe that a portal can be open here. But I see no reason to delay her request. I will see what I can do in order to facilitate this. I think the Fey Dominion would benefit from having further trade routes further out. Are you her representatives then?
Roll perception on that comment he just said.
Which comment?
A comment about, I'll benefit. This is great. Oh my goodness, I rolled an 11.
Obviously got evil intent.
An 11 is good, though. That's a success.
He seems genuine. You don't really see anything that's, suspicious about what he's saying. He doesn't read as a very suspicious individual.
Okay.
Going to him first and then the Duke? I'm confused.
Do you say this out loud?
What?
Do you say this, Vinda, out loud?
Maybe.
I don't think that's a maybe question.
Well, he begins rolling up the skull. Yes, of course. You see, the thing is, Zagata technically technically falls into the purview of Seashine, and Seashine would have to be involved in the transportation of the device, and so before I can give approval of this request, we will have to speak with the Duke. I would appreciate if you would, perhaps not all of you, but at least some of you would accompany me to meet the Duke as Zagata's representatives. It would look better.
Will that not be a problem with the ports being closed right now?
That is partly also why we will have to speak with him in person. I'm hopeful that perhaps with this request and my backing, that he would be open to the ideas of facilitating transportation in that way.
So why are the ports
what is
closed?
going on with that?
Well, I'm assuming you are newcomers then. You're not actually from Seashine?
No.
Correct.
Well, there have been some incidents recently, particularly with the sister city of Oceandale. believe that the Duke fears, well, to put it bluntly, fears traitors and fears some inside difficulties from his people. And so he has been limiting transportation in and out of the city that could benefit Oshadale in any way. In particular, sea harbors are one of them. Of course, with Fey Dominion, I have free reign to go where I please, as is anyone within the Empire. But unfortunately for civilians, even people like ourselves, the Duke is being much more cautious about who he lets in and out of the city.
Understandable from a certain point of view. But
Aptly put.
But yes, if need be, we can act, or at least I can act as at least somewhat of a go-between between Mayor Hotgaze and the Duke.
Great. There was something else we were supposed to give you too.
This is from a friend of ours, Tila.
Tila?
Yes.
You see his demeanor immediately changes. He goes from being all professional to extremely relaxed and joyful, and he says, "Oh, you're friends with Tila? She didn't..."
She is in... yes, she is in Zagata now, and sends this to you.
And he takes the box and opens it. Oh, I was not aware. You should have led with this. I assume Tila didn't tell you. Well, no, of course she didn't. It's Tila. Tila is my wife. And he puts the box down over there. If you're friends with Tila, whatever I can do to help you, I will help you. I'm sure Tila was waiting for me to tell you that she does enjoy her surprises. I can see the looks on all your faces. You did not know.
It makes sense.
Well, she does this. This is her way of telling me that I should help you guys. So, please. And he shouts out, he's like, Ariel, bring food and wine from our guests. These are friends of Tila. And you hear a shout back, right away, sir.
Mine, it's like 11 o'clock.
Well, Tila is really awesome, so I'm sure that you're a great person too. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And he puts a hand out to shake. Well, I thank you. I will not disagree. Tila is a very awesome individual. She sees something in me, so, sure. I hope to please as well. Yes, in fact, she does this on occasion. She finds it funny to send people she likes to send me my favorite tea, which I can only get when she makes it, so... So tell me, what are you really here for? It can't simply just be as messengers.
It is a situation of we have messenger as one mission, and then we have investigators as the other. We had a couple of tasks to deal with.
Yeah, it's kind of gotten rather complicated and confusing.
Oh, well, I can see why she likes you.
There are quite a few things going on, and I'm not even sure, but...
Oh, well, if I can help you in any way, I would be pleased to. Any friend that Tila is a friend to me. If there's anything I can ever do, of course, with this Sagata thing, I was gonna do my best before, but I'll do as much as I can to get this to go for you, as I know Tila is very fond of Sagata.
By the way, if she mentions some, that stayed at their house for a while and made a mess of it, it wasn't me.
And you are? What is your name?
Ari just kind of motions to Winter and goes, introduce yourself.
name's Winter. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she won't complain. Tila doesn't complain much about anything. She just likes to
She
make.
right about this.
Did you mess up her apothecary, or did you like mess with her potions?
All of it?
Oh. Well, I'm not even allowed to touch the potions, so I understand.
Well, it was just a slight accident of a tail being moved the wrong way, but
Oh no, what?
Well, she still sent you with the tea box, so I'm sure she still likes you. Anyway.
So that's why she was yelling at you.
My name's Harmony.
Yeah.
My younger compatriot is Curiosity.
You are.
You wouldn't happen to know a fisherman by the name of Thomas Giles, would you?
What?
Also, do you know anything about Light's Peak?
One question
Like
at a
me.
time. Curiosity. One question at a time.
Well, it's not like I can ask two questions at the same time. I only have one mouth.
You must be her favorite, I'm guessing, of all of you. Yes, I'm sorry, I do not know a Giles of any kind. However, as Light's Peak, it is familiar to me. I believe it is a tomb of some kind nearby. It used to be a tomb, I think, for paladins, clerics. It was for a holy order of some kind.
Paladins? Okay.
That's why Daphne wants to go there.
Yeah, didn't Daphne say something about that?
Yes, we're taking her there. Yes, after we finish this whole mess.
But I don't know anything about more than that. The Sharsong archivist would probably know best, although you do have to get permission to go in there.
Yes.
Do you think you could help us acquire this permission to enter?
I think Daphne was going to deal with that, but then everything else happened, and anyway, yeah. I'm Been to 12.
Nice. That's good to meet you, Been to 12 Feather. I could, but not quickly, unfortunately. The permissions that would require are political. If you have someone already, though, that has an inn, I would recommend using that person.
Yeah, we were associates with the Paladin that we met in town, so yeah. Let's play there. So, meeting with the Duke about this, how will you contact us about scheduling?
Well, hold a moment. He gets up and he comes back. He comes back out, and you hear him saying, kind of whispering something to Ariel, who you presume is the housekeeper now. And then he comes back, and as he does, you see some doors that were hidden in the walls that you couldn't notice before come, and they close the gilded archway. He comes back to his desk and he sits down. Now, I apologize. That must seem strange, but the thing is now that I know that you are friends with my wife and she clearly trusts you, I feel like I should probably be honest with you. The Duke is acting strange. He has been making questionable decisions. I don't really know exactly what his reasoning is behind. I suspect it has to do with Oshadale. Oshadale has been putting pressure on him. They have claimed, the rumor is, that our Duke tried to assassinate their Duke. And everything but war has happened. They are doing their best to keep it at bay. I believe the Duke's son, Alam, is attempting to make peace of some kind, but it has not been made exactly clear to me what he is intending to do. But I know he
Have
has
there been
received
any?
push-
Have there been any strange women, new acquaintances, perhaps, of the Duke, or some woman around acting strangely as well?
No, nothing I can think of. There's been no strange occurrences.
Yeah, there's a succubus running around.
Oh,
Killed the mayor of Zagata. We lost her before she tried to destroy Zagata entirely, and she's up to no good. So if you see anything suspicious of the female variety, just be wary.
and now I see the real reason Tila sent you to me, although she couldn't have said all of this. Well, she could have, but she doesn't. At any rate, she was probably hoping you would tell me these things. I see. Well, that's good to know. Thank you. I'm going to be honest with you. I hope the Duke will let us pass through, and there will be no problems to getting Zack out of the portal. That I think it probably is a good idea. But with the way he is acting and what his decisions have been lately, it may be a little bit more difficult than it would seem. I apologize that I led you on earlier, but before I understood who you were, I have to keep up a professional air, and it's not good for ambassadors to admit when they might be inept at their job or incapable of doing it. I wanted to keep the positivity going, if you understand.
Well, don't worry. Just because Allura is interfering with the city doesn't mean that you're inept at your job.
I don't know Alora's involved at all.
Allura's definitely involved.
Oh, there's a whole thing with like that seer that made predictions, and everybody wants to be able to see the future.
Yeah, there could be other things, but it is a possibility, so it's important to know there's a possibility.
It is a possibility, but we can't assume everything that goes wrong is because of her. It'll cause us to start losing focus on what she's actually trying to do.
Yes, but yes, you are correct. You have heard of the seer, then. She does play a part in this, although it's not, I wouldn't really fault her for the part she plays. It's not of her choice.
Well, where is she? Is she just in the middle somewhere?
She's at the very center of the two cities. There are strict laws which prevent the normal average person from seeing her, and keep Oceadale and Seashine from taking full advantage of her. And really, her position is what's keeping these cities from tearing each other apart.
But with what are the problems between the two cities? Without, if the seer is being shared equally between the two, what's the problems that have been brought to the surface?
The problems mostly come down to the people who control the seer. She is a young girl, and her parents have used her to become wealthy. As a result, they make sure that the visions she gives put Oceadale and Seashine in opposition. The very first one was the knowledge of the exact location of a very healthy deposit of gold. It was right on the border of the two cities, and they could not decide who claimed it. This led to a couple of riots. Eventually, the Fade Dominion had to step in. I had to step in and claim it as a temporary custody in the Fade Dominion until that situation could be resolved. I managed to negotiate a peace treaty where both of them were able to mine the gold, but now neither of them own it. Similar visions like this have continued to arise, and it has continued to make the cities on edge. Add to that, too, that also there have been individuals, people finding out that their wives are plotting to murder them, people finding out that their neighbor is withholding secrets and that those secrets will be revealed sometime soon. Just everyday sort of things people are not meant to know in their daily life, thanks to this seer, are now becoming clear, and people are more on edge here. That is why strict laws have been
Okay,
put in
but
place,
how-
even with
but then-
those.
And I'm assuming the girl
If
has
she
no
just
idea
has
she's
these
causing
visions,
these
how is
problems.
then how are the people in charge of her affecting this? She just has whatever vision she has, right?
She. I have only met her once. My impression of her is she is aware of what she is doing, but she is unable to stop herself. And she has no way of stopping. It seemed almost as though she was compelled to give whatever vision she had.
And then, so her parents control who shows up, so then controls what she sees.
Sort of, in a way. You see, in order to meet with the seer, you have to buy a token or earn a token. These tokens are held only in the hands of the most wealthy individuals within the Seashine and Oceandale, including
Okay, hang on. The visions are. Do they have to be connected to the people that she sees, or what?
Yes, the visions are always directly for the person who asks.
Oh,
You ask her a question.
Okay.
You can ask her any question, and she will answer that question for you.
Right, so if the parents control
Wow.
who's asking the question and what questions they're asking, they can manipulate what's happening.
Partly, but it's more of these medallions, these tokens have become the true currency within the two cities. People will do anything for them. Her parents controlling her care little, really, for what people are told, whether it's good or bad. They care more about money. Because the tokens are so difficult to earn or buy, it does create a small pool of individuals who are seeing her on a more regular basis.
Great, so that's fun.
Yes. Unfortunately, I've done my best to try and keep the peace. I have tried to stop and interfere, but I can't really without making a mess of things for myself. And well, as an ambassador, I have to think of the Fate Dominion first and our interests here in the city. Well, the most I've been able to do is provide her protection and keep Oceandale or Seashine from claiming her completely. Because if either side I fear that if either side does gain full control of her, whichever Duke has her, will use her to his advantage. And she will never get the chance to be free. I would, of course, do more for her if I could, but again, I have to think of my people first.
So, what would you do if you didn't have to think about your people?
Well, that is the real question, isn't it? Does trust you. I would take her from her family, from all of this, and put her in some place where she can be a young girl. She is, I believe, 17, 18, old enough to make a life for herself, and old enough to understand the consequences of what she's done, and really not even really her fault. But I don't think that girl really knows what freedom is.
So where would you take her?
Well, I don't really know. I haven't done investigations. I wish I could think more about this than I have the time to, but I have other things. The Cathedral of Tears might know. There are priests and clerics there. They are of the water. They are Aquanian priests. They're healers. They might have an idea of what to do. They would probably at least know someplace where she would be safe.
Where are they?
The Cathedral of Tears is on the other side of Seashine. It is on the docks. It probably wouldn't be difficult to find your way in. But let me stress this. I am telling you these things in confidence. If rumors are heard that you're trying to steal the seer from anyone, that would cause an uproar that I'm not sure I could stop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And, as you seem like a decent person, you all obviously Tila trusts you, which means that you are good people in her mind. This is a problem that perhaps is beyond your depth. It's not required of you to solve everyone's issues. It is unfortunate what this girl has done, and, I hope maybe one day I can help her in the way that she deserves to be helped, but not everyone can be. And for now, this might just be an unfortunate circumstance. I'm sure you are needed elsewhere and have other things you need to accomplish.
We'll see how the Duke responds. It might be something we need to do.
When did the seer start having visions?
What I understand, her first vision happened when she was about 5 years old.
How old is she now?
Unfortunately, she was born 18, 17.
So about 12 years ago.
Unfortunately, she was born to greedy parents who saw an opportunity, not a gift that they had been given.
And how long ago did the Duke start acting strangely and bizarre?
Bizarre is not really the right word.
Paranoid?
Perhaps the Duke has always been a bit on edge. He's not been my favorite individual to deal with. I've had many monarchs that I've had to put in place, and I've never really appreciated this one. However, he did seem to get a little more militaristic in the last year or so. I do think that something happened between he and his son that has made him a little more on edge.
Great, so you're saying you're going to set up a meeting with the Duke to talk about this thing, but then how will you let us know that we can be there?
Oh, I will send a guard for you.
Yeah, but you don't know.
Where are you staying?
Yeah.
That is true. Where are we staying, Harmony?
We are at the Sleeping Messiar in the floating market at the moment. It's a long story.
Seems like a pretty evident story. You were dealing with shady individuals down there, or
Investigating shady individuals down there, shall we say?
this wouldn't have to do with some rumor about ruckus I heard in that area, would it?
I'm surprised to hear rumors since the guards don't go down there at all. I traveled fast. That was like 12 hours ago.
Erethias just turns and looks
Seashine
at
guards.
Harmony.
The Seashine guards don't go down there. I am an ambassador of the Fade Dominion. We have eyes in our kingdom.
But yes, it does have to deal with the ruckus. But got it mostly under control for the moment.
Are you needing help of any kind? I mean, before I offer, I must stress there's a limited, though I am the ambassador of the Fade Dominion, there is a limited amount I can do. My position here is such that I need to be careful, especially with the Duke as he is. I can't really risk his ire, but there might be some things I can accomplish.
I think right now we're trying to work things out without trying to. I imagine they wouldn't take very kindly to the Fade Dominion guards showing up and doing things. So, as of right now, things are going okay.
Well, alright. Is there any more questions I can answer?
The only other one that I can think of right now is your gods greeted us earlier with a greeting for the emperor. You do know an empress is on the throne, right?
Of course. It's probably just a slip of a tongue. Well, she's only been the empress for 2 years.
Right,
That
that's
seems
the
like a
phone.
rather long time to me.
You don't live to be 1,000 years old. When you are
With his eyes bug out. That remind.
when you
Oh,
are
man.
490, time doesn't go quite as quickly.
Ah,
I don't. I
see.
think I know your meaning here, Erytheus.
I
My guards are not disloyal to the Empire.
I am just curious as to why they use that particular phrase.
It is a phrase we have used forever. If you people being in Azamar should know, this is the first empress we've ever had. It's still taking time for our people to get used to the idea.
Of course, it does take time. I'm sorry to have brought it up. It was just something that kind of popped up, and I was curious about it.
I appreciate your loyalty, as of course we are to be loyal to our empire and the Emperor and the Light.
Empress, but yes.
Emperor is a plural term for an empress. Anyway,
Now we're going into semantics. That's all right. That's
well,
all
I am
right.
an ambassador. I am versed in semantics. At any rate, if there's nothing else, you are, of course, always welcome here. I will make sure that my guards know in the future that you are to be given and trusted in every assurance. Although, again, please, I request that you tell lightly if you're going to, now that you've associated yourself with me, and if I am going to make you into my friend, you will have a bit more of a public image, and, well, my reputation goes with you. So I would appreciate if you are careful in your endeavors. He looks at you, Harmony. I think you are being cautious about how much you share about the floating market and what's going on down there. As long as you keep it sort of within house, I am sure that it will not cause me any issue.
Yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. Hopefully it won't cause us any issues either.
If you think it will cause issues in the largest city, please inform me first so that I know how to prepare.
That's assuming that we ourselves get any advance warning of things going out of hand, which
Well, I don't foresee the floating head doesn't want to go into the larger city as a whole. That's a wrath of things. So unless we do something drastically idiotic, I don't think it's going to cause a problem for anybody else, except for us. Anyway, thank you for your time. We got time to go down and find the fishermen. Place to go, things to see. Thank you again.
You guys go on. I want to follow up on one more question. It just came to mind.
Alright. We'll wait outside for you.
All right.
Arun stands and he gives you all a deep bow. Thank you again for especially bringing Tila's tea, and please be careful in your journeys. Right, so you guys are led out the black doors as they are opened again, and the housekeeper, she she leads you all with a smile, and just as graceful as ever, she leads you all back outside to the outer area. And as they leave, Harry.
I have one, at least one, if not two other questions. Um, do you know of a Zestra, the Nightmare?
Yes, I have heard the name. It's been a long time since I've heard the name. I believe she was an Azamar who was a part of the Crimson Force.
Yes. I'm just checking in on a hunch. I'm not sure what, but I just feel the need to at least inquire about her on occasion. But you don't know her?
Personally? No. Her adventures are known in the courts. She had done some significant things, and as an Azamar, she has had dealings with the higher echelon of of our people.
Yes. And then the other question I had was, do you know of an Ember Fury? There's an Ember Fury.
Hold on while I look up my notes. That one's deeper. That one's not quite on the mind.
Okay.
Notes. Music. Why? Just play the things. Oh, I've got an internal loading bar and it's driving me nuts.
That's okay. I'm throwing you a curveball, so it's alright.
No, I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm just double checking on some things before I say anything.
Okay.
Emma, of course, he's the chief advisor to the Empress.
Do you know him personally?
I have met him on occasion, as when I have had to give reports to the Empress, he is always present.
What do you think of the man?
I think he's strict, stern, careful, but has the Empress's best interests at heart, as well as the Dominion's.
Interesting.
Why do you ask these questions?
How much do you know of... How much do you know of the Empire? Or of the Dominion?
Great deal. I am the ambassador, as I have said several times. I feel like you are fishing for an exact answer, and you're not being quite clear, and, well, I'm not really interested in dancing around the topic with you. I do that only for people I don't particularly care for.
I understand. I've been trying to gauge a couple of things. I think I can at least trust you with this. And Ari will draw the insignia of the hand on the table. No dust or anything on it. Just trace it on there. Do you know that organization?
I know that they don't exist.
Not officially. I'm just trying to figure out why in the world they were disbanded.
There are rumors, but only rumors.
Okay.
If you're wondering if Ember Fury has changed, I do not believe he has.
I want to know more of his reasoning. I want to know what happened with my family.
I am only an ambassador. I can't give you those answers. Your things. I have my own networks, but you, I assume, are much more intimately aware of what's going on. Therefore, I feel like if there was really real information to be had, it would be from you, which me.
All right. Well, thank you though for your answers. Again, I've just been curious because 20 years to be left alone, so to say, and then I see one of my fellow brethren in an inn in Zagata, and it kind of threw me off.
I can imagine it would. I wish you all the best in your journeys and your searching, and if there's anything I can do, limited though it may be, do not hesitate to ask.
All right. Thank you very much. I shall do what I can to help you maintain as much of a positive presence in the city as I can.
That would be helpful. There is great distrust of the Fade Dominion at the moment, and it's understandable given that our borders are being pressed by seemingly superior force.
Yes, that it is. That, and there are stirrings going on within inside the kingdom that just it
May
is
I
not
say
comforting.
something?
What? Oh, sorry.
You strike me as someone who's not been home in a very long time.
No, I
I
have
say this
not.
to you as a fellow Azamar. There are things going on right now. There's a shift in our people where they're not exactly certain that the old laws are true. And they don't want to, and they're not willing to put their trust in this Empress. She is different from anything we have encountered. She has new ideas and new thoughts. Not a lot of people are comfortable with those new thoughts. It breaks tradition. Be careful who you trust. Not every Azamar is as loyal to the current Empress as we see.
All right. I will remember this. Thank you very much. That's about all the questions that I had, but thank you very much for humoring me.
Of course. You should join your friends soon. They'll get suspicious.
Yes, I figured we wouldn't take long anyways. Thank you very much. Good day, and may the light go with you.
Light be with you as well. May the Empress's guide you.
And you as well.
Alright, you get up, leave, and rejoin the rest of the crew. So where are you guys headed to next?
Dairy Queen.
There's not a Dairy Queen. We're not going to Dairy Queen.
What even? Where did that even come from?
Giles.
Are we gonna take a break sometime soon?
I think we're gonna end at 11 o'clock, so there's no need.
Okay.
We can quick go say hi to Giles. That seems like a short thing we can go do because we just wanted to check on his brother.
It's Giles. Giles.
No, it's Giles.
Thomas
Oh,
Giles.
It's not.
Thomas Giles.
Yeah. Well, how we go down to the docks and we inquire around about Thomas Giles.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds
That
good.
sounds like-
I'm on board with that.
Okay. You guys start making your way down towards the docks, and actually, it's going to be a little bit longer than you guys anticipate, so that's why we're going to end it here.
Oh, if he's like abducted by somebody, I'm gonna get real upset.
Oh,
No, I don't
good.
want to. No, this was just a checking in on, not a I owe money to the floating hand gang and my family got abducted sort of story. I don't need that. My plans do not need that.
You don't know thing. It may not necessarily be abducted
I'm
children.
just gonna start throwing fruit at children. You usurp your parents. Go like, we give you food. It's like, yeah, actually, I could use like some shipments of some stuff into the city, to like into the voting market. I just need some stuff. You get a fruit, and you get a fruit. You get.
And with
Oh
that,
no, Harmony's Oprah.
Yep.
Sad, he's
That's-
the Oprah meme.
that's the way he was going anyways. And with that, we will go ahead and close it out for tonight. Thank you for joining us in on the live stream, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you guys have a good night. And those of you who are catching the YouTube recordings, I hope you guys have a good night and God bless.